Okay, so that was yesterday, and I don't even remember doing that, but we'll go ahead and we'll check out the second game. All right, let's check it out. Interesting game here with the double hella. They have two frontline. We have Angela, which also played frontline quite a bit. I really like Angela. I think Angela is one of the best ways, you know, one of many ways, but definitely a good way to rank up out of GM. So like, if you're looking for something different, yeah, dude, start playing Angela, man. That stuff is awesome. Who are we? Probably this guy, I guess. Because like, people always say Angela's bad. Dude, she is not bad in GM. By a fucking long shot, dude. She's such a pain in the ass to deal with. And there's so much you can do with her. As well as the other dive tanks. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I have not played like Emma much, so I think there's a lot of cool shit that you can do with Emma, so I'm not going to be able to really weigh in on like a bunch of creative stuff you can do with Emma. Alright, went really well so far. We got that one. Captured the dive. That was nice. Did get the kill on her. Almost. That was a good idea though. I see the vision. Nice. We start off this one with the team cook. Team is mostly cooking the other team here. Team diff in our favor. So now we can hear the rocket. We officially heard him and we know rocket is in there. Nice, nice. You get really holding this lane down. So now you're kind of pushing far. Because I kind of got the feeling like no one's behind me anymore. Everybody's sort of counted over here. So I'm thinking I'm going to hold this lane down. And maybe I'll collapse back like this. Going in this way. If I would pursue this more, they could just turn around and kill me. And I have no one to support me. So I was surprised to see you push forward here. So let's see what happens. Alright, so we got saved. We got healed. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it was a success. Because I think one of the crucial things about this game is like, so the healer saved you. He saw this guy is low health and he probably picked up on the risk. You know, we get the sense of like, you know, Star-Lord can kill you from here, right? And he's got quicker access to healing. So potentially, so this is actually like a downside to our team push. That the healer has to be over here healing you, when realistically that wasn't necessary. When the healer could have been supporting the team more here. So this can lead to like other people's deaths and just like a weaker team and stuff like this if we take damage and require healing without a good reason. So it's something to look at. But I can't 100% say like, oh, this is bad or whatever, but just sharing my thoughts. So that was like almost a kill, but like me personally, I'm thinking there's almost no way that's going to be a kill, right? He's going to get out. And again, we're pushing so far forward and making ourselves vulnerable. And, you know, I've already picked up on that. The whole fight is happening inside here. Like, I've successfully pushed them all in here. So if anything's going to happen, most likely they're going to try to push out this way. So I'm mostly holding the lane down here. I can't really come in here and kill them for the most part because I am too vulnerable. So as soon as I cross a certain threshold, they can just turn on me and kill me. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the game we're playing right here. Again, just my thoughts. Yep. So, like, extremely vulnerable to dying. And here's, like, that situation. Like, now they are coming out here. And the healer was not there to heal us. Because, realistically, this is where the team fight is happening. So, the further we get up here, the less and less healing access we have. And we saw how easy it was for them to put us to low health. So, we did end up squeaking out the kill there and stuff like that. But this whole thing was, like, I don't think this is going to help us to play like this in, like, Celestial and beyond. I think we have to play the smarter game here and protect our own life. And also not be you know, we don't want to be in crisis and require healing when it's not necessary. That's like something we can do for our team to make our team's life easier. Again, just all my thoughts. You know, somebody else definitely might think differently here. Now we're here. We're kind of like not getting away from this guy enough. We're really low health and it's going to take a little bit to get heals. And yeah, we can also see how many other enemies there are. So basically, I mean, Star-Lord's really strong, right? So I was feeling like we need to get the fuck out of here and get healed. But instead, we kind of like dodged back and forth right here. So realistically, I think this was a fantastic opportunity to, I would call it, taking advantage of this person's mistake, the Emma's mistake, and getting the kill there. Cool, now we're healed up and we're over here. Nice, got that. Alright. Onto the magic. Yeah, we had some like target, late to the target stuff there. I mean, realistically, as we play the game more, we can expect to do better and better with that, but it happens to everybody, I swear. Like, even at, like, I haven't watched like that much pro game, but like when I watch top, like, high ranked people, they also have are late to the enemy and also like shoot at their own teammates sometimes. So we're kind of going balls to the wall there. So that's cool. I mean, it's threatening, but at the same time, I mean, it's kind of a classic way for the tank to die. So you're kind of getting lucky that they're not hitting you more. And then the Loki also had to use his stuff here. I'm just sort of reflecting on that, but if I look at the larger macro, I suppose it's worth it, right? Because you're trying to go all in to make sure they have no chance of getting to the point. So I was a little bit focused in there, just thinking about like if we're risking our own life and stuff like that. But realistically, I think that's probably a great play. Even if you died like pretty quickly, it still was worth it to get them to not go on point. That way we can keep the point, cap the point. So that's cool. Oh wow! Thank you for this gift, Dr. Strange. So that's beautiful. We want to see that because that's clearly lower level behavior. So now we have a great chance of winning this game. Specifically with just that one sign. It's not, that's far from what the whole game consists of though, but it's definitely a good sign to see that. So again, I'm kind of surprised that they're not damaging you more here. Kind of like walking out and right in front of everybody, but I guess it's working. But yeah, I suppose if we want to be like really high skill, high mechanical skill, it seemed like we should have played that a little differently. So that way we're hitting the enemies, but you can also take space like that. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm just trying to say the stuff that I'm thinking, but there's definitely other ways to look at stuff, and I'm not seeing everything. So it's not like pure coaching. It's more just like another perspective. All right, this looks good. This is a very simple environment right here. Actually, don't even know if this is useful because we already have our ultimate. So what's our goal here? I kind of think twice about stuff like this because potentially what we can do is actually not have a presence to attract a dumb behavior, you know, when we're at these lower ranks. Like GM3 is still kind of like, there's going to be a lot of dumb stuff. We could potentially attract him in here, and then we, you know, we're Emma, right? So we can do the choke slam or whatever the hell, and we could potentially kill him right there. So it's kind of funny how there are some strats that we can use like that, and like them being bunched up together rather than strewn out, I think overall is usually stronger. So we're basically forcing him off, and we're making him play the game better by waiting for his team. But we're also really, really close to this. So potentially letting him in, and then they use ultimates or whatever, that could be a worse outcome. So again, I'm just sharing just random shit that I can think of, so yeah. But I was just kind of questioning this, like, well, if we want to go pure strategy, you know, what should we be doing here? If we need the ult charge, that's fair enough, but we don't need the ult charge, so it kind of begs the question of like, well, what can we do here out of all of our fucking options? It looks like we're going for the little dude here. And this is productive, in my opinion, specifically because this is so close to the edge, and it doesn't even matter like if we die. I mean, it does matter still, depending on all what happens. But yeah, it's like we literally get rid of their healer, so it looks pretty good. Beautiful. We got it done, and we didn't even risk our lives, so it's kind of looking like a pretty hard team diff so far, but we'll see what happens here. Looks good. We got big numbers advantage, so we're just going all out, jumping on top of them. Just barely didn't get it, but it was kind of obvious we wouldn't get that as well. I think that might, I mean, it would be worth it if it like went off, but I mean, there's really nothing preventing him from just going back, so that's also an interesting reflection on some of these small, really small things that might be useful as we get higher rank. We didn't really react to that. It's like, I can share some stuff about this because I was watching a guy who plays Wolverine a lot. Wolverine's an interesting pick that it's best when your teammate works with the Wolverine, because basically the Wolverine's trying to kidnap people, and then into the team, right? So that if the team collapses on that enemy, it works really well for them. So we have to go through the bubble, and it's a Star-Lord, so he'll be able to do you know, the dodges and shit, the iframes. It seemed like we didn't really react to that. I mean, we could have like, I mean, I wasn't thinking about all of this shit, but like if we know we have this guy on our team and we're kind of picking up on where people are at, and we see him do this, and then he comes in with that, the second we see that, we're changing our position and we're putting a bunch of damage on him, and we're trying to get that kill right off the bat. I think that's like a higher level play of like reacting to what's happening and knowing previously what's already happening in the game. But me personally, I wasn't even paying attention. I didn't even know we had a fucking this guy on our team. So let me pay more attention here. Yeah. I'm kind of just getting started in this. So this is a good lesson. Like, I'm just going to talk for myself. Like, you know, from trying to do these replay reviews, it really shows me like the inconsistency or the lack of my object permanence, right? I'll forget who's on my team. I'll forget about the abilities going on. I'll forget about ultimates. I'll forget about some of the goals, like with the objective. I'll forget about this stuff. So the object permanence diff is a really big deal. So like now it's like I can feel that it's a bigger challenge if I want to keep track of that we have this guy. So now everything that happens in game, I'm also keep trying to tax my brain with also keeping track of how does that relate to the fact that we have a Hawkeye. How can I potentially facilitate? How can I be aware of what the Hawkeye might do and what he did do? And just that will allow me to react faster and use these specifics of the game. And then Wolverine's Wolverine's quite a bit more obvious. Once we see that the Wolverine's on the team, we can really, you know, I think that's very reasonable to react to what he's doing. But I personally, when I was watching this replay, I didn't even notice that yet. But I think it's reasonable that if we're playing a ranked game, we would already have noticed that. But also this guy, and the same is true when we have like the Loki, right, and the Rocket. They both do healing in a certain kind of way. It's different than the other healers. So being aware of that is very, very reasonable. And then, of course, we have the Rogue, too. Like, I mean, I literally spent this whole replay. I didn't even think about that we have a Rogue. I mean, did we even have a Rogue this whole time? Like, I don't even know. You know what I mean? So, I think this is really, for me personally, this is what I'm looking to take my game to the next level. I don't think I said it yet, but I hit Celestial. So my goal was to get to Eternity. I hit Celestial. I had to learn a bunch of stuff to hit Celestial. I had to grind a bunch of games, and I just stopped. I took a break. So I may still get Eternity or whatever. But yeah, I wanted to just get on here and do coaching. So, you know, so GM3, I think I can definitely help out here. And the stuff I'm talking about right now is like stuff that I need to do to take my game to the next level. Because there's just no reason to have these weaknesses of like not thinking about the entire team. All the specifics of every person and taxing my brain with like, what can I do? Excuse me, what can I do to, you know, it's not like I'll literally know it consciously, and especially not in words and everything like that while the game is happening, but just to calculate these things with what's going on. Okay, let's move on. Let's start the next one.